So you spoke on like, I'm gonna move back a little bit because this part of the story I didn't know. You said you was already familiar with the Ruff Ryders building because you went down there bumping into Eve before a couple times or something like that. So speak on that, because you know Eve from Philly and she went out there and kind of got down with them, had to battle her way through and all that, just like you were saying. Yeah. So like, did y'all ever meet Eve in Philly, or did you just know her strictly from being down there?
Nah, what's crazy is so I did a couple of talent shows, you know what I'm saying, showcases back in the day, and he was on the same, in the same showcase. She used to be a part of a group called Egypt, you know what I'm saying, her and this chick that I went to high school with named Jennifer. They used to be a group or whatever, so I kind of knew them from that, you know what I'm saying, but when I went out there, I forget who I went out there with, man, but you know, he was at my homie, Freak, he got a clothing line now. He an artist, he got a clothing line called Freak Ugly. He was actually going up there to meet with her. I just tagged along, you know what I'm saying, at that time. And you know, we became reacquainted about and shit. I hadn't seen her in years. She was on the move. But prior to that, like, I was already ripping through the music scene here in Philly. You know, my cousin is Stevie G. You familiar with Stevie G?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a bud. That's my first cousin right there.
And he had something to do with like Beans or somebody getting signed or something like that?
Most Wanted.
Right.
Like he was the plug at the time, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was a nigga built through, so like I was running around, you know, trying to make moves with him. Actually, but you know, when you family and shit, like, shit be a little different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I actually took my group there first. Like, I went to Steve first, like, yo, that's not what I got, you know what I'm saying? But that ain't, you know, he had his hands tied up with a bunch of other shit, you know what I'm saying? So like, you know, I just kept it moving. I ain't never been a nigga to stand still, wait for nobody to, you know what I'm saying, to make nothing happen. So we just kind of kept it moving. And ironic shit is though, is that like, prior to me going to Ruff Ryders, Steve had mentioned that they was looking for a 3-man group. You know what I'm saying? So like, the shit kind of worked out either way, like, but yeah.
Alright, so yeah, speaking on the Ruff Ryders Compilation Album, which, you know what I mean, that definitely hit the streets, and you know what I mean, it definitely was buzzing at the time, because this at the time Ruff Ryders was on fire, you know what I mean? Yeah. And y'all had a feature song on there. Was it one song or was it 2 songs? I don't remember.
We had the one feature, but I was actually on like 3 of the records. Well, I wrote on 4 records. So the record that we was on, I co-wrote Got It All with E, which was the first single. I wrote the hook for that.
Oh, so you wrote the hook for that, John?
Yeah, I wrote the hook for that. I wrote the hook for the Red Man, Meth, and Chic record. I'm vocals on that record. I had the vocals to the Drag On record on that, and then I wrote for Swiss on that record also. Swiss and Busta record.
Oh, alright, so y'all was only featured on one song, but you actually wrote on a couple of other songs.
Yeah, so it was like 4 or 5 songs total.
So then, cause I remember Cash saying he had wrote some of the guy that also, you wrote the hook and he wrote.
Yeah, I'm gonna get y'all that story, man. Like, so what happened with that story is, so we in the studio, right? So they trying to get the single for this record. And I believe it's still early in the process, but you know, around this time, Eve's on fire, so she moving around real crazy. So you know, anybody that's in the industry know that when you're moving around real crazy, like, it's kind of hard to slow down and record a record. It ain't like when you ain't had shit to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, at this time, I'm so eager, like I'm in the studio, and you know, Eve working, you know, she over there, right? You know, she writing, and I'm like, yo, you got a hook for that? And she like, nah. She like, if you come up with something, let me know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, cool. So I went back and I came. The original hook one, give me your dough, give me your car, give me your jewels, I want it all, right? And she like, so I took it back to her, and she like, nah, that ain't even like, I ain't that type of chick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't say that. Like, she was like, change it up a little bit and bring it back, and I you know, if you change it up and it fit me, like, I'll use it. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I went back, and I'm like, you know, I changed it from give me to I don't want your dough, I don't want your car, I don't need your jewels, you know what I'm saying? And all that, switched it up. So I'm in the back, man. The way Sony Studios is we like in the lounge and she in the main room. So me just being fucking lazy as shit, like I'm like, yo, like, cause I'm back there with Ock and Cass and, you know, I'm telling them and shit or whatever. And so I'm like, yo, Cass, go tell E to John, like, you know what I'm saying, and I'll break it down with you. You know what I'm saying? Just like that. So he go tell her and shit. So I come back out, she's like, yeah, that's crazy, I love it now, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna use it. So she recorded. And you know what I'm saying, after recording the shit, I remember Y walked in and shit. Y walked in, so Y come in, he listened, he like, damn, like, who wrote that? So I'm like, I'm getting ready to say I did. And Cass like, oh, I wrote that. I'm looking at this nigga like, nigga, you ain't writing that shit. Like, come on, stop. You know what I'm saying? So we had like a little falling out over that shit. It wasn't a real falling out, it was just like, bro, like, you wasn't a hook nigga, you a verse nigga. Like, that's just what it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody knew you for that, so it wasn't even really like a, you know what I'm saying, like an argument and shit, but, I actually did argue going back, you know, the way we were staying and shit about the whole situation. But just to, you know what I'm saying, just to keep my word, just to make it fair, like I just broke the shit down with him. Like, that's simple.
Word. So yeah, for the track that y'all was featured on, cause I didn't know that you had any parts in any of those other records. I just knew about the one that y'all actually rapped on, right, which is the one that Styles basically was introducing y'all on.
Oh, that was volume 3.
Oh, that's volume 3, so y'all did a joint before that.
Volume 2 is, you know, was on, so we had the Ride or Die the Ride or Die Boys in volume 2. So,
oh, okay, I remember that joint now. Alright.
Introduction and shit. And that was actually supposed to end up being a single. But at the time, it was supposed to be a single, but at the time we didn't sign yet. So, you know, it wasn't, you know, to my understanding, they wasn't about to drop a single and, you know, niggas ain't, you know, was under no paperwork at the, you know what I'm saying, at the time. Like, it's early on, this record's done, you know, that's the conversation. It's like, yo, damn, that shit, single work. You know what I'm saying? So,
alright, so at what point, so volume 2, so what albums was before that? Like, was the X album already out? His first album was already out? At what point of Ruff Ryders is this? You got to refresh my memory a little bit. Like, what was going on at Ruff Ryders at the time that y'all came?
Everything's popping right now, shit. I think X dropped 2 albums that year.
Okay.
X had dropped 2 albums that year. Eve popping, She on Fire. The compilation still lit. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything is just like, yeah, everything on fire. The locks just, you know, got up, you know, just went through the whole shit with Bad Boy and all that. Like, so they the center of the game right now.
So, when y'all first start going up there, did y'all meet any of them right away? Like did y'all meet X? Did y'all bust it up with him? Did y'all get the rap for him?
Yeah, we was meeting everybody. Like, and what was dope about the way we came through was we came through, you know what I'm saying, with family. So it's like, you know, niggas put you, when the way people treat you is based on sometimes it's based on who's put you across. You know what I'm saying? So like, I can take you up and introduce you to Swiss or whatever, right? Because we got a you know what I'm saying, a family type of relationship. The vibe is gonna be, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be different than if a stranger introduced you to them or somebody that they just strictly doing business with. So it was all love and respect from everybody, you know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, we got to meet shit pretty early on. The Locks, X, like I said, anybody that was around, anybody that was on the, you know what I'm saying, on the label, you know, producers, you know, we was already working with, you know, the producers that was kind of behind the scenes doing shit. We met Swiss probably like, because I think Swiss was living in Atlanta at the time when we started the compilation, but when he came down to do the Locks album, we met him, so shit was kind of happening, you know what I'm saying, pretty fast, but it was all up from the gate.
Word. So y'all was around in the mixer when that thing was on fire, and that was like an epic moment in hip hop. Like, for people that came up in that era that remember, you know, that time, like, that definitely was historical because, like you said, X dropped 2 albums in 1 year and they both went platinum, and I don't know if nobody else ever did that before. And like you said, even all that was on fire. So y'all was on the Volume 2 compilation album, then y'all was on the Volume 3 compilation album as well. So what you said on the second one, y'all wasn't signed. So when the third one came out, was y'all signed in?
We signed before the compilation dropped.
Okay.
But I'm just saying when we recorded the song initially, like.
Oh, alright. So y'all ain't have
yeah, we wasn't on the paperwork at that time, like.
Alright,
so
cool.
we ended up doing a deal like before the compilation drop.
So was it a group deal, like all y'all one group?
Yeah, it was a group deal. So yeah, we did the Larceny deal. You know what I'm saying? Which made sense because that's what, you know. The way we came up was the way they took us at face value. So niggas ain't know that, like, yo, like y'all rap. Oh, well, y'all two are a group, and he, you know, he was just an individual artist. So now they just took it as, you know, the way we came up and presented ourselves. That was the way they, you know what I'm saying, they wanted to use it. So, which made sense, man, because we was shit, like that was it. If I could put together a super group, that was a super group right there. You know what I'm saying? Like we had every aspect of being an artist, whether it was, you know what I'm saying, just perform, you know, stage presence, bars, whatever it was, you know, talking slick, vocal tones was right, everybody had their own unique vocal tone, you know what I'm saying, everybody's style was a little bit different, but we all got the, you know, we got the job done, which was, you know, when it came to putting them, you know, came to them battles, like we got you up out of it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So then y'all on them compilation albums, y'all group, y'all sign, y'all doing y'all thing, and then at what point in time was like Cash separate and him and Swiss do their own thing in life? Speak on like how that whole situation transpired.
Yeah. So so we do the